Well, the ESO Direct is always super fun and full of surprises every year, and this year is no exception. In this video, I'm going to go over everything that we learned in the ESO Direct 2025 stream from ZOS, including subclassing, Update 46, quality of life improvements, and much more. Make sure you watch the entire video so you know everything that we learned, when these updates are coming out to the PTS, and how ESO is completely changing the future of the game this year. As always, if you hit the subscribe button and like the video, it helps me keep making videos just like this. So hit that subscribe button and let's get started. Well, first things first, if you tuned in on April 10th at 3 p.m., you probably saw the stream where we learned exactly what the future of ESO is going to look like. They announced so many exciting things for the games, and the overall theme is that you belong. Yes, they are listening to players and everyone from the ESO community, and I do really feel that they are addressing some of the biggest concerns that players have had for the game. They want you to feel at home in Tamriel, and whether you're a returning player, a new player, or a veteran player who's played from day one, there's going to be something for you in this update. Well, let's start with the next big adventure that's coming out this year. Well, they are releasing a new 2025 content pass, and we're going to go back to the root of the original storylines that started 10 years ago with the Worm Cult. That's right, they are resurging, and we're going to be getting to go to a new zone in Tamriel to push back and defeat this new enemy. There is a new prologue quest out right now with Prince Azah from the Alakir Desert that you can participate in and start to get the background for what's going to happen in Solstice, a new island off the coast in the southern waters that is very tropical and is part of Black Marsh, I think. So I was right about Black Marsh, although I was wrong about the location, and it turns out that the codename Solstice was a lot more obvious than we thought. Yes, we are going to be going to the island of Solstice off the southern coast of Tamriel with the main city of Sunport. Now, this new area looks so beautiful. It's a combination of Argonian and High Elf themes. It's very tropical and lush, which was our clue from last year's Q&A with some of the content creators. So I'm excited to see that I was mostly on track, but not quite right in terms of the location. But that's okay. I think this new zone looks beautiful, and I'm really excited to jump in and learn more about this new Worm Cult enemy. There's also going to be this massive wall barrier that's splitting the island in half. So for the first release of the season, we're going to be on the western side of Solstice, which is this beautiful city of Sunport. We're going to be competing in a global event to take the wall down. More on that later. There's going to be a new trial coming out as well, Ozizen's Cage, which is actually going to be in Cold Harbor. It's a vault that has an item that Molag Bal is after, and we are going to have to stop him from taking it. There's going to be 16 new antiquities, including 3 new mythic items, 4 new trial sets with perfected versions, and a ton of other rewards, collectibles, crafting motifs, and pets. They're also going to give us a 10% experience boost from venturing in Solstice all year. So if you purchase the pass, you're going to be able to level up just a little bit faster, whether you're a returning player, new player, or veteran. So a little added bonus there to getting the pass. Now back to the wall. So for the first time ever, ESO is going to be having a global event. And if you purchase the season pass, this is all included, so keep that in mind. In Q3 or Q4, timing is TBD, you can band together with everybody on your server, Xbox NA, I'm looking at you, to complete in this one-time event. And whether you have the pass or not, you can still participate, so it's not required. You just won't be able to participate on the island of Solstice if you don't have the season's pass. But we are going to be competing together to complete tasks, pierce the barrier, and prepare for a true assault on the Worm's Cult base in Eastern Solstice. So everyone in Tamriel, all the players on each of your servers can compete, and this means that each of the servers is going to advance the story in different ways at different times. So Xbox NA, we have to win this race. I'm looking at you guys. Of course, I'll do another video when we have more information, but I would love for us to win this, get the story first, and break down that wall. Of course, if that doesn't happen, I think it'll still be very exciting to see all the different communities come together and participate in this global challenge. Once the wall comes down, Eastern Solstice is going to be a much different feel. It looks a lot more like Cold Harbor, And this is where we can get to the final story part, which is coming out most likely in Q4, where we can finally defeat the Worm Cult head as the story comes to a close. If that weren't enough, we're also getting 2 new dungeons in addition to the Fallen Banners dungeon pack. So sometime in Q3, they're going to release the Feast of Shadows dungeon pack, which is going to contain the dungeons Black Gem Foundry and Naz Kaldish. This is a Daedric forge supplying the Worm Cult from Cold Harbor, and there's corruption in an ancient Sandmere. So these sound like they're going to be really cool dungeon additions to the Fallen Banner dungeons that came out just a little bit ago. Now, they did mention on the ESO Direct that seasons aren't always going to be a year long. I think that makes sense for this year in terms of transitioning to do something similar to a chapter, but have it be broken down in little pieces. So yes, we are getting new content. Yes, we are getting a new zone. We're getting a new trial, and we're getting new dungeons. So I think a lot of people were really worried that this was going to turn into seasons in other games, but I think they're really sticking to their ESO style and doing exactly what they said they were going to do, which I'm very excited about. They did say in the future that seasons could be 3 months or 6 months, and maybe we're just revisiting old zones and getting quest lines to continue there, which I still think is super exciting. If you watch the Direct, you can see this year we're also going to be meeting up with Razam Dar, Skordo, Gabrielle from the Mages Guild. So I'm very, very excited to see some of these characters return. Razam Dar is probably my favorite character in the whole game. And we were right that he does have this mission in Blackmarsh, and we're going to meet up with him to continue to fight this threat of the Warp Cult. Now, did you catch the hint about what we're going to be getting more info next? I myself had to pause a couple of times and thought that I was maybe going crazy, but if you look right here, you can see that the hand of the Dark Brotherhood flashes on the screen as Rich replies, "We know." So I believe that next year we're also going to be getting some Dark Brotherhood content, some quests maybe to continue the storyline there. So I'm really excited that not only are we getting new zones, we're also going to be revisiting things like the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood to get more content there. I think it's going to be really fun and exciting. Now note that Update 46 and the first part of the Seasons of the Worm Cult will go out on the PTS on April 14th. So if you have a PC account, you can check it out, help them test, and we'll get a little bit more insight into what the PTS Update 46 is going to look like. Now let's talk a little bit more about the 2025 Content Pass. So you can see here, they explain that if you purchase the Content Pass, much like if you purchased a chapter before, you will get access to all of this content right away. You can also get a bonus Mages Guild Recall customized action, a 10-year Lion Guard Steed mount, a 10-year anniversary Mudcrab pet, Shell Tide Beach emote pack. These look pretty cool. And I know I'm definitely going to be purchasing this pass because I love having access to the content right away, but it does sound like potentially, even if you don't purchase the pass, you might be able to get access to this at some point. So stay tuned for how that's going to work in the futures. A lot of times the chapters would go on sale at the end of the year, so it's possible that the content pass might also go on sale if you're not ready to jump in and spend the money right away. It sounds like there's going to be opportunities to purchase it or participate further on as the seasons come to an end. So stay tuned for that. But if you do purchase the 2025 Content Pass, in addition to the bonus rewards, you will be able to jump into the new zone and story in June 2025. You'll be able to participate in the Solstice Island, the Writhing Wall event, and get access to the Feast of Shadows dungeon pack in Q3. And then in Q4, you will have access to the zone expansion and the story finale. So it's very similar to purchasing the chapter. Instead of it all coming out at once, it's going to be coming out every quarter, which I believe they did before Morrowind. Definitely not like seasons that I've seen in the past. I'm excited that we're still getting a lot of new content here. There's also a couple different editions that you can buy. The premium edition if you would like access to previous chapters and DLCs. So check out the different passes that you can get and see which one works best for you. Now, if that weren't enough, the fact that we're getting all this new zone content, we're meeting new and old characters, there's also going to be some quality of life updates that are really exciting. And the first one is subclassing. Yes, that's right. In the ESO Direct, they mentioned that we are going to be getting subclassing, and I'm really, really excited about this. It seems like they put a lot of thought into it. So let's break down how it's going to work. Well, from what we heard, subclassing is going to be a new way to customize your character in ESO. And this is going to be completely free to all players when Update 46 launches. That's right, you don't have to have the pass to be able to subclass. I don't know if the pun was intended or not, but I think it's going to be really cool for everybody to have access to this. And so what this means is you can swap out up to 2 of the 3 skill lines inherent to your character for options from other classes. So for example, if you're a Templar, you can keep 2 of your Templar lines and maybe add something from a Warden, an Arcanist, etc. So you cannot add 2 of other classes to your skill lines. So if you are a Warden, you cannot add 1 Warden skill and 2 Arcanist skills. You have to have the inherent class in order to have more than 2 lines. But you can swap out 2. So let's say you want to have control of all the elements. You could do this on your Dragon Knight, Warden, or Sorcerer and swap out for the other 3 lines and have access to fire, ice, and lightning magic. So really cool. I think this is going to totally change the combat in the game. And as they said in the direct, before there were 7 class choices, and with the subclassing, there's over 3,000 different combinations you can do. So this is really going to shake things up. It's also going to be integrated seamlessly with the armory, and all of your progress and other characters are going to be included. So if you have unlocked all the skill lines and all the classes, this is account wide, so you won't have to level anything up. Now let's say you don't have the Arcanist class and you're interested in purchasing it, you can still do that with crowns, and then once you have access to it, you can still level it up even if you're not that class originally. So let's say you have your Templar main, you've had her since the beginning, you want to add an Arcanist skill class to her. Once you purchase the Arcanist class, you can add in that skill line and level it up. There's apparently going to be an NPC in various parts of the worlds that we can talk to start this, and all you have to do is be level 50 on 1 character to have access to subclassing. So really accessible. It sounds like it's going to be really easy to do. You can respec at shrines. So very well thought out so far. I'm excited to see more on PTS, and I'm really excited to see what subclassing is going to do for the game. Next up, we have the Hero's Return welcomes you back to Tamriel. So this is specifically for players coming back to the game. They're going to make it easier to figure out what updates have been added to the game, what features are new, so you can hit the ground running with reminders and rewards. The Hero's Return will automatically detect when you haven't logged into ESO for an extended period of time, and it's going to offer you handy tools and guidance to get back into the game quickly and easily, so it's not too overwhelming. And the first of these is a brief optional adventure you can choose to complete to help refresh your combat skills. Once you complete this adventure, or even if you choose to skip it, you gain access to the Hero's Return Golden Pursuit and a few days of unique login rewards. The special Golden Pursuit is multifaceted, with multiple smaller campaigns within it that point you towards resources, contents, and gameplay you may have forgotten about during your time away. Rewards from both the pursuits and the login track have been selected to be helpful in your return to Tamriel, but don't replace other rewards earned in the game. So you still have plenty to enjoy after completing your Hero's Return to Tamriel. I think this is really great. I think this game has so much to it. There's so many new systems they've added every year. There's so much new content. I think having a way to ease yourself back into it is going to be really, really helpful for players returning. And that goes for any game, even games smaller than ESO that aren't MMOs. You come back to it, you're like, what's the combat like? How do I do the controls? Things like that. So this is going to be super helpful, and I'm glad to see them putting in some things like this for returning players. Now, I think one of the biggest announcements that they had is that we are getting a Furnishing Vault. That's right, your housing prayers have been answered. We're going to be getting a new vault that holds up to 500 unique furnishing, and it stacks items as well. So let's say you have all those Jester banners, 200 of them, whatever the stack count is, that's going to count as 1 item. They gave an example of if you have 50 of the same chair, because apparently a lot of us do, that'll also count as 1 item out of 500 in the Furnishing Vault. The only caveat to this is that you do have to have ESO Plus to get this Furnishing Vault, so another perk for ESO Plus members, and I think this one is well worth it. But it sounds like this is going to be something that is account-wide as well, and it's going to be accessible similar to the Armory, whether you have it placed in your home or you're just accessing it from the Housing tab. This is going to be a really great way to clear up some of those houses that a lot of us have been using for storage and use this vault to stack your furniture and free up some space overall. They're also going to continue doing some work on the map. The new map updates including adding better tooltips, enhanced quest visibility, and more. They've also added tutorials for the way shrine system, improving them and making the map enhancements more impactful for new and returning players, so that traversing Tamriel is easier than ever. They are also going to be adding additional work for console add-ons. They previously expanded the API to enable add-on creators to begin their work, and Update 46 will allow creators to upload their add-ons and console players to download the add-ons. So we're finally going to be able to access all these cool add-ons. A lot of speculation in terms of what kinds of add-ons we were going to get. We'll now be able to find out more information soon on theelderscrollsonline.com. And with Update 46, we'll be able to download the add-on. So I'm really hoping we're going to get some cool add-ons like PC that are going to offer some really good quality of life improvements. Now, the other thing that was really exciting is that they are going to create stackable master writs. Yes, no longer will we have hundreds of master writs in storage or in your inventory or in your bank. They are going to be creating stackable envelopes. So this means at most you will have 7 different kinds of envelopes for each of the 7 different kinds of crafting, such as blacksmithing, clothing, jewelry, etc. And all of your master writs will go inside these envelopes. I'm really excited for this. I think this is going to free up so much inventory space on top of the furnishing vault. This is going to be really great because I know that inventory space is some of the biggest complaints players have about ESO. You fill up your inventory so fast as a new player, especially if you don't have ESO Plus in the craft bag. So I'm looking forward to having these quality of life improvements. And they did mention that if the envelope is successful in Update 46, they could do something similar with treasure maps. So Zos, I'm holding you to that. I cannot wait for stackable treasure maps. There's a lot of really, really good things coming to ESO. I think this has just scratched the surface in terms of revealing where we're going and what we're getting this year. And they did stress that this is a year of change. So they're going to be adapting, changing things up. So it's going to be a little bit different, such as the tests they did with Vengeance. It was really successful. They were able to get a lot more people in and have some of those legendary PvP battles like they did in the very beginning. They didn't mention whether for sure Vengeance is coming as a permanent campaign, but I think we are going to be getting a lot more tests like this, and I'm really excited to see what else they're going to test and add to the game. I can see from this update that they are listening to players, so don't be afraid to give your feedback. They're planning on having more events like the Guild Summit they had to hear from guildies and players. So I'm really excited to see that they are open to changing the game, and I'm just really excited for the year and the new content to come. That's all I have for you guys in this video. I just want to get into an overview, and this video is already getting a bit long. I'm sure we'll have lots more information coming out, and I will continue to make videos once we know more. Don't forget to claim your monkey pet. I know that there was some issues with the website going down, but it is now up. You can use the code shown here on the website on the account page. So if you haven't claimed your monkey pet already, make sure you do so. He's very cute. And let me know in the comments what you think. Are you excited? Is there something that you're worried about with subclassing? I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments. I want to give a shout out to my members. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. And anyone who is subscribed or liked my videos, I really appreciate any and all support. Every little bit helps. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.